Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's your boy Gully here with a new toy. So, usually around this time of year, do my annual upgrade thing. Carrier T-Mobile has a brand new device, one that's not highly talked about in the land of iPhones and Galaxies. I guess maybe not for good reason, or maybe for good reason. I don't know. But we're gonna try something today. So, thank you to the carrier for delivering also discreetly this treasure. Although it might be a little crooked, but let's just say it says V60 ThinQ 5G dual screen. Okay. So I just got home. This was at my doorstep. So we're gonna get right to it. Open it up together. All right. Now here is oh, I'm a pro at these, right? Yeah, I've done a total of 0 unboxing videos before. And I just dove right in and did it live. All right, so here we go. Let's get this open here. Let's tear this one off here. So, little story while we get this open. I've been a fan of LG for quite some time. Started some years ago with the LG G4, and wanted something different. Wanted an Android phone. Wasn't ready to move over to Apple iPhone. Respect their greatness, respect their genius, but wasn't for me. Had some Samsungs. Really wasn't my flavor, but I knew I wanted an Android. So I stuck with LG, liked their experience, liked their UI, and really haven't left ever since. So got the plastic off here. Let me show you how it actually opens. Okay, here we go. Now look, this is why it comes. Okay, you got this. All right, take this off, and you've got the dual screen. All right, 2 boxes. Which one should we do first? Let's start with the thin one first. Okay. What I didn't understand about it at first was that the dual screen is made up of pretty much the phone itself and a chassis or a case that's with the second screen on it. I think this was made popular with the LG G8X of last year. That had the same similar technology. Well, this is new flagship for 2020, so it's done the same way. So here we go. We've got the plastic. Gives you some instructions on how to install dual screen. All right, yeah, I take it that you understood what the heck that said, but we'll go with it anyway. All right. So this, in fact, surprise, surprise, the thin box was the dual screen. I should have known better. All right. So we're gonna play with this a little later in a few moments. So here it goes. A little bit about the specs and dimensions. I don't know what they are. Look how big this phone is. All right. Here it comes here. From what I could tell from the few reviews that I see, this phone is well received, warmly received here. One neat feature that I just discovered here. Here's the dual screen case, second screen. All right. This base is magnetic. All right. That should be helpful. It does support wireless charging, something that we may be able to explore a little later, but here we go. Now, let's get to the main event. All right. It's a 5G phone, and I would have to say, I had some, some cautions about 5G. Letting the rumors or what have you get to my head. Had some cautions, concerns about, 5G and whatnot. Wanted to address them, but still wanted a new phone. And if the spectrum or what have you is inevitable, why not still get a phone anyway? So that's what I did. So we're gonna open this here. Let's get our knife. Where'd it go? I don't know where it went. All right, here we go. Oh. Let's get this off of here. There we go. All right. There we go. Comes with a little handy dandy cloth. And look at this here. All right. LG, the usual suspects. Certified USB, LG fast charging cable. And I will say, I'm not certain if this has been the experience with other brands, other phones, but LG in particular is very particular, in my experience, about their cables. Meaning that the phones that I've had, whenever I've lost a cable or tried to use another cable for some reason, I will get a different, I'll get a warning, charging slowly type warning, things like that. But that in mind, I'm gonna hold on to this one here, especially because how big and fast and powerful it is. You know what I mean? All right, so here is our V60. Let's take it off the plastic. Wow, heavy in the hand, feels like about a pound. I'm not particularly upset with that either. I like to have a phone that has some weight in it. Makes me make sure that I know that I have it in my hand. Maybe it could be lighter. I'm not certain, but a phone that has, I feel, a strong physical presence for me, it's not such a bad thing. I mean, it is a huge phone, probably the biggest phone of modern times. Now, I will tell you. Oh, look at that. Uh-oh. Look at that guy right there. Look at that. Wait. Oh, what is this? Infinity mirror? Wow. Ooh. All right, let me quit playing. All right. So I would say phones in the modern era, this is big. But I still remember my mother's Sony Ericsson, the big brick, you know what I mean? The Audio Vox, I think maybe it was called. Huge brick with the antenna, probably weighed 2.5 pounds. It was a solid phone, or baton or brick if you had to get yourself out of a physical struggle here. It's not on order of that, but I tell you what, they're getting close. You know what I mean? So let's see here. Now I know I should have a pen somewhere. I want to take the SIM out. I do currently have an LG G7 that I did like, but you know what? I wanted to try something new. I did want to try a true indeed modern, or I guess current flagship. You know what I mean? Sometimes people want to buy a brand new car the years come out because they want a new car. You know what I mean? All right, so we're gonna try to find that good old keychain. Ah, here we go. The key. All right. Need these. I need some lotion too, sir. All right. So what I'm gonna do first before I turn it on, I am going to insert the SIM card. Now, well, maybe I won't because I don't have my current phone with me. Gotta be more prepared, right? All right. Well, here we go. All right. We're gonna be right back. We're gonna find that card, okay? There's no pause on the live stream. Be right back. That was fast. All right. So here's the soon-to-be former daily user. This is the LG G7. Let me get off of my Facebook. Try to find me. All right. Again, solid performer, but on something different. So here we go. We're going to remove that SIM. Okay. Now, I'm not going to take you through the whole backup and all that. I'll just Get it turned on. Move this in. All right. I mean, premium quality phone here, but for as rugged a user as I am, I'm definitely going to make sure that I'm encased, whether it be the dual screen case or having an independent case once we take this out. Again, with the dual screen, what LG decided to do was create a dual screen by way of having a case that serves at the second, has a second screen. I guess some people may take issue with the idea of having that spine that we'll see, in between the dual screens. I'm not necessarily sure that I'll get annoyed by it. But then again, I'm saying I'm not certain. I'm not sure, but I'm not certain either. Nonetheless, I think it's a smart idea to at least provide your phone some type of protection. So I'm looking forward to actually using this here. Let's first put the SIM in so that way we can make some phone calls. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and find that pin. Perhaps I should have taken this time to back up the original phone, but for the purpose of this unboxing, we really just want to see what's what. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Oh, let's put the tray in. Here we go. Shout out to T-Mobile, my carrier, for making good on a delivery within 2 days. Appreciate you guys for that. Especially in light of what's going on. To be able to still keep up with that is pretty good customer service, if you don't mind me saying so. All right, let's lock this in. Let's put this in. Let us power it on together. It says LG V60 ThinQ. Powered by Android. Kind of know that already, but probably can't see any of that because of the glare. I'll get better at these someday. All right, welcome. Okay. So one thing to note, there's the notch there. Again, led by Apple, who I think decided to go with the notch first, putting the screen inside of the display. It started out bigger notches, and I think they followed suit by making it smaller. So basically, the notch is only for the purpose of serving around the front-facing camera, rather than the previous LG. Again, this is a G7, not a G8, so we're going a couple of model years back, and you can tell it's notch. It's a little bit around the camera and the lens, and I guess that's the microphone there. So a little bit wider. They decided to make it a thinner profile altogether. So we'll do this, new second screen, showing you how to do the second screen here. We'll just say next. We'll just connect the Wi-Fi for right now. I won't give you my password. I'm getting a phone call already because I got my SIM card in. Let's not answer that. Let's wait. All right. Here we go. Checking for updates. All right. Let's hit right to it here. I'd like to go ahead and go with the second screen. Just pop this bad boy in. Let's see what we get. It's been said that the second screen does take a toll on the battery life. To be expected. I mean, it is two screens. It is a mobile device, and it's carrying quite a task by doing two screens. But we'll see what's what. With the second screen in, this is what you see on the outer display. For me, it's giving me some notifications, battery life, location, some other icons, the date and the time. All right. Now when I flip it open, I'm waiting for it to install some updates. I don't know if you can see that. Hey, let's add some light to the subject, huh? Oh, maybe not. Hold on. Maybe this helps. All right, cool. We can see color. We can see contrast. All right. Copy apps and data. Okay. You can transfer apps from data. Let's go next. Can back up from the cloud. I'll go ahead and give that a try. Okay. Oh, second screen, right? Callers. Second screen folds close to this display. Opens up wide. You can do the tint. You can fold it backwards. So you got screen on both sides. All right, there we go. I'm gonna log in. All right. Okay. Let's turn this on to. All right, found a backup for my 710 on the cloud because I chose Google Backup. Don't know if that was the best thing to do, but I did. So the technical name for the phone is the LM-V600, in case you really want to know. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and restore. Let's allow it to do its thing while we're taking a look. Google services, back up to Google Drive, location, scanning. Yep. Okay, let's go ahead and let it do all of that. Secure your phone. Set a fingerprint. Right, a fingerprint. Second, right. I like what I miss, and I really liked. I liked the knock codes or the that the LG had. Basically, have 4 squares, and you choose a pattern of knock codes. I really liked that feature. It felt like it was quick and it was unique enough. Not a fan of the patterns or what have you, but we'll go for it. Maybe they brought that back. I don't know. On the center of the sensor. So we're setting up the fingerprint sensor. All right. Oh, you get to see it. Here you go. So the fingerprint sensor, like many of your flagship phones, is now embedded in the display. So that makes keeping the screen protected all the more vital. All right. So we're continuing that, getting the fingerprint sensor together. All right, it thinks I have it. Okay, great. Google Assistant is now built in. I haven't really used Google Assistant, things like that, very much. I don't know. I guess it's a bit of the hypocrite in me, tech geek, techie, but don't want to use a Google Assistant because I don't want it to know everything about me, even though I put everything in my phone. Whatever, but I haven't used it. Got along pretty well up without it, except for maybe like when I'm around, whenever I'm parking like in public places and, set an alarm for 15 minutes, something like that. It's a button on the side for Google Assistant. So if that's your thing, then you can use that. Here we go. Let's see if we can get the glare out. I think you see nothing. There we go. Oh well. All right. Not going to set up the voice match just yet. Google Keep, Tubi, some bloatware, what have you, but stuff that I like to remove or disable. Completing setup right now. Really want to take advantage to show you guys the benefits of this second screen here. What I'll do is once I get everything set up, I'll probably make a shorter video just to get right to the meat and potatoes of it. So that way you can see how this phone looks. I will say, again, I know it's heavy. I'm okay with that. That may not be your sort of thing. So in fairness, to get, attempt to be impartial, I will say, what I like, what I think others may not like so much, where I think I can deal with it. I've had phones that were light in the hand, and it's caused problems for me. I haven't had a phone that was heavy in the hand that would cause me to kind of slip or misplace it or drop it. I've only had that on the lighter side. A phone like this, you definitely feel it. Again, I will point to that. The dual screen is set up here with two panels, inner and outer. One of the features that I'm looking forward to using it with is photo editing, whereby you can use the dual screen to have the image, have your original image on one side and your edits or what have you that you're doing, proposed edits of shading effects or anything like that on the other side, without having to edit the screen and then go back and move back and forth, that you would do with a single screen device, which may sound like an inconvenience, or it may sound like you're overdoing an inconvenience. But imagine, having one screen that just show you the edits and then you can wipe it all away. I think it'll prove useful. So we're gonna wait for us to complete setup. Really looking forward to seeing what else I can put on this second screen here. All right. So there are two varieties of the phone. Obviously, the second screen, the screen case. Okay. And then there's also the phone without the case that you can simply remove and enjoy. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. Really need to learn how to easily move back and forth in and out of that case. Having unboxed it live with you, didn't quite look at those instructions because I was just so excited. All right, we'll find them. We'll figure it out. Okay, phone is completing setup. It may take a while, but once it gets back, quicker video here. Probably move everything over, make sure my data is over. Then we'll do a full review. But I do like it aesthetically. I think it's pleasing. I'm not a fan of a lot of extravagance with the phone, so much so that you'd have a case that totally shades it away. The dual screen case gives it some type of ruggedness and protection, which is something that I'm looking forward to. I like to see how this outer screen holds up. Of course, it's Gorilla Glass, but even still, glass is glass, right? So like to see how this will hold up. I'm a bit of an outdoor person. I'm a field technician by trade. So I guess with cautious optimism, I have a phone with a glass case. Assuming I'm extra careful the way I tend to be, or the way I should be, rather. I'd like to see how this does hold up in my environment. If I was more inclined to be at a desk or be at a job where I'm not outside, I think the second case I wouldn't have as many concerns because I think it'd still be very useful. But we're gonna find out about that. That is my one call out, at least for me, being someone who's out in the field in a technician type role. So it's adding finishing touches. May take a few minutes. Let me see real quick. Let's get some specs on this phone here. Share with you guys. All right. Yep. So here's what I can tell you. 6.8 inch full vision screen. It's a Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 octa-core. Pretty nice chipset, I will say. From what I've noticed from a lot of reviews prior to me actually having the phone, multitasking is not an issue with this phone. Lots of apps open, moving seamlessly between them. That's important, especially if you're going to get a phone that's a flagship at its cost. You want to make sure that if you're getting something that's premium and you're paying a premium for it, it at least does what they say it should do. As far as I can tell, no complaints, no real complaints there. This does ship with 128 gigs internal memory. I bought a memory card of 128 gigs just to make backups a little bit easier. Even though I use the Android backup or the cloud Google Drive backup, I still want to back up my G7 with all of it with the SIM or with the micro SD card, just to make it quicker to move back and forth in the future. Lots of cameras on here, triple cameras, 64-inch, 64 megapixel standard, 13 megapixel wide. Front is a 10 megapixel camera. Now, in years past and models past, they've had a larger, I guess you will, megapixel camera in the front. But you know, with everything, there's a bit of compromise. I mean, some cars, you know, if you think about, let's say, a GM series, for example, the newer generation Buick Enclave and GMC Acadia are actually a little bit smaller than the previous generation. However, more refined, more luxurious, more stable, more capable. You kind of get where I'm going with that. So I'm not necessarily shocked that change in the front-facing camera means to a smaller, leads to a smaller camera. I mean, that's a selfie camera anyway. It isn't always the greatest anyway compared to the other cameras, but it is worth noting. Okay, lots of audio here. 32-bit hi-fi quad digital to analog converter. You know, DAC. Does again, the biometrics is in the display. Not uncommon, not unlike your Galaxy Fair, and I believe that's the same way with the iPhone 11. The thumbprint sensor is actually on the screen. Let's see how well and how responsive it is compared to the others, because they're not the first one to do that. I think the Google Pixel. I could be wrong, but I think the Google Pixel offering and the OnePlus offerings will also have the in-display fingerprint sensor. So there we go there. Again, I'm looking at great phone here. Looking forward to really using it. Got to get you guys back. Here you go. All right, cool. So let's turn off the optional licenses. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. I like home by itself. In my usage, I tend to just like to have all the apps just available, and then group them into folders. Some have the standard apps and then like an app drawer, second screens or what have you. I mean, to each his own, of course, but that's the way I like to set mine up. So here we go here. All right, so let's get, all right. Now we got the second screen in action, okay? Duplicates the wallpaper from the first display. Short side note, this wallpaper is actually something that I created when I had an LG Stylo 4 and played with the stylo pen in the mode and saved the wallpaper. So again, told you I've been rocking with LG for a long time. I really like how it displayed. So that's been my wallpaper heretofore. What I would like though, and I heard that the LG, this model does support the it does support smart pens. I gotta remember the model, of course, but that's unique. That's really neat as well. I would like if there was some type of case or some type of hold on. There we go. If there was some type of case that would support a pen attachment, like a plain sleeve, a docking place for the pen. That would be the ultimate, especially for a phone of this size, almost in scale to like a Stylo 5 anyway. That does have a a pen, of course, because it's a stylo. So if it had something like that, that would be great, but nothing that I can see here. Let's go ahead and let's try to play around with it. All right, cool. Okay, new features like messaging. There are gestures. Gestures are supported here. Okay, and lots of voicemails. Hopefully there are not emergencies. And here we go. Let's get that second screen involved, huh? All right. All right. So, dual screen. There's a little notch on your main screen that activates the dual screen. Press that here. Turn on dual screen. There you go. Now you got second screen. Also, once that is activated from here, also can set the behavior on the dual screen. You can put the main screen to sleep. Just run the dual screen. And you just swipe it to end. Okay. So what happens when you put it to sleep, turns down the brightness on the main screen. So that way you can use the second screen. You just swipe to wake it back up. And you can turn off the display. You also have some other options here. We'll just go back into that menu real quick. And we'll have turn on dual screen. And we go back. We got some options. So you got show main screen on dual. Show dual screen on main. Put main screen to sleep. Turn off main screen. Turn off dual screen. All right, let's see how dual screen behaves when we have the phone. And again, I'm learning all of this with you. So, got some dual screen apps. Great job. All right, Sniper Fury. Let's see how that plays real quick. All right. So, go figure. We got to update. All right. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play around with this a little more. I'll get back with a shorter video. Thank you for joining me live. And once I get back, then we can really play around once I know my way around it a little bit more familiar. All right. Take care now.